Well, my name is Chris Bigger. I'm the Superintendent of Schools here in Chambersburg School District. This podcast is an exchange with people in the district to focus on our One Trojan community and schools of distinction by 2030. Now, I have with me Michelle Holtry from Hamilton Heights and Jen Drake from Cam's North, Faust, whatever you still want to call it, who are pretty far ahead of the game on schools of distinction. So both schools have made multiple years of U.S. News and World Report distinction status. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves, how long you worked in the district and the school you're at, and then we'll get into how you've accomplished that. So Michelle, why don't you go first, and then we'll go with Jen second.
Sure. All right, Michelle Holtry, this is my 4th year at Hamilton Heights Elementary as the building principal, having worked in Chambersburg School District for 26 years, first at the high school and then an assistant principal at Cam South for 6 years. So this is our 3rd year receiving the recognition from U.S. News World Report at Hamilton Heights, and our staff, we're very proud of them for the hard work that they have put into working with our students, and our students themselves too are a great bunch.
So you're 3 years in a row, okay?
Yes.
And you've been there for all 3?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Awesome. I wonder if you had it the first year. We just didn't talk about it. You might have. I don't know.
It's possible. Yep.
All right. So Jen, a little bit about you and...
Hi, I'm Jennifer Drake. I am the principal at Cam's North. I have been at Cam's North for 13 years, 8 as an assistant principal, and this is my 5th year as the head principal at Cam's North. Prior to that, I was a teacher at Cam South, so I've lived in the middle school level pretty much my whole life. 1 year out of college, I spent teaching at Cassius, and I was a special ed teacher, assistant principal, and now principal.
Awesome.
I am from Chambersburg, so I'm really just love this community. And
you're a graduate?
I am.
Okay.
94.
And Michelle?
And I'm a graduate, 95.
95? Okay.
Yeah.
Surprise.
So I've been in the district for 26 years.
And you both have
26
kids
years.
that are through the system or in the system,
Yes.
right?
My children did not go here, but I have a daughter who teaches here.
Okay. All
yes.
right.
Yeah.
And your kids?
And my kids, I have 1 graduate of Chambersburg, 1 junior, and 1 4th grader. So I have
That's
kids
exciting.
at every level almost.
Yes.
Well, it's one thing to be proud of your school because you're the leader of the school. It's another thing to be proud of your school because your kids and family went through here and graduated from here.
Yeah.
So talk to us about what works at Hamilton Heights and Cam's North. And certainly Cam South has received the designation as well. I didn't want to put 4 people in the room here, so we just picked a couple. So talk to us about what makes the school work and why you're performing very well.
This is my favorite thing to talk about, is how proud I am of Cam's North and our staff and our students. We have a shared vision, which I think is the #1 reason why our school was so successful. This is the 2nd year we've been recognized in a row, and it comes down to everyone's on the same bus and going in the same direction. Building relationships with our kids, making them feel connected and loved to school, because without that, they can't achieve any kind of academic achievement without that, and that is something that Cam's North does really well.
Nice. Michelle?
Yes. I can agree with Jen as well. I have often told people that I am blessed to be at Hamilton Heights. From the day that I walked in there, the staff was welcoming to me, but I see how they welcome everyone who walks into that building, and especially the children.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite parts of the day is standing in the lobby each morning when our students are coming into the building and seeing the smiles on the kids, but also seeing the staff who are there for the kids as well.
Yeah.
The foundation of our building are the adults in the building and the connections and the relationships. That is the #1 key to student success.
Now I noticed this year Cam's North has a special recognition in addition to U.S. News and World Report. So tell them a little bit about what that is and your growth scores.
Yeah, we achieved 100% growth in our
Are you also #1 in the state?
Our 8th grade ELA, our ELA teachers in 8th grade had the most growth of any school
in Pennsylvania.
In 8th grade in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
So talk about growth. People always look at proficiency, but why is growth an important metric? What makes it a good metric for you and Chambersburg, and why is that an important area? Go ahead.
I just had this conversation last week with a few of our teachers. We were talking about growth, and we were not just looking at growth from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year. We were looking at years worth of growth. So we were taking our students map data
Yep.
and their measures of academic progress. So we're looking at how they were doing last year at this time, and then what does a year's worth of growth look like for them? Because we need to look at them over time, not just how they are doing, within a school year. So the teachers were really having in-depth conversations with one another across grade levels, and it was really neat to see.
Interesting. So when you think of growth, it's students come in here, and where do they end?
Yes.
And for you guys to do so well, I'm assuming you exceed the year's worth of growth.
Yes.
And how do you measure that? Like, what does that look like for you as a principal in those? How do you measure that?
I think just one of the things that amazes me is you're walking down the hall. We have almost 1,100 kids in our school. And you're looking at 100% growth and you're thinking, wow, that kid's growing. That kid's connected, that kid's growing. In the classroom, our teachers know exactly what they need to do in order to make every child learn. And that's special.
It is. It's not typical. It is not typical to see this type of growth and see this type of performance. So, and that's what we're trying to tease out, like what makes the school so great? What makes Hamilton Heights and Camps North just that, that one step forward and better than somebody else. When you peel back the classroom and you go in the classrooms, because you're in the classrooms quite a bit, what do you see? What do you see in the classroom? You talked about the welcoming, everybody is accepted, but what happens in the classroom when you go in them?
I mean, you always hear the word engagement. So when you're walking in the room, you want to see students engaged. But what does that look like?
Yeah.
So when I walk into an elementary classroom, it's definitely different than a middle school classroom. You will see students anywhere and everywhere in the room. So I love walking into, especially a primary room, and kids are on the carpet. They're with books. Sometimes they're on the Chromebooks, but they're engaged with the teacher. But when I walk in, they love to show me what they are learning. And when they can show me what they're doing, that is the best feeling. And they're excited about it.
And that's different than middle school, maybe a little bit?
Sure. So you walk in a middle school classroom, you see a lot of engagement with each other. Teachers walking around supporting the students. It's amazing to me because when I walk into classrooms, we have very little, a lot of structure, but also like a lot of collaboration, which is a lot of talking. And somebody might think, wow, there's chaos, but really it's not chaos. It's
organized chaos.
It is.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
And I love to see that. I think that really shows an excitement for learning and a passion for what our teachers are doing in the classroom every day.
So I know both of you well enough. You are both type A. You're not satisfied with where you are. It's exciting to be recognized. What's next? How do you keep it going? And we're like Penn State wrestling, right? 13 and 15 national titles. Okay, you're going for the title. Like, so how do you keep staff motivated? How do you keep going?
I love the sports analogies. Yes, you can't dwell on last year. You need to move forward.
Right.
So yes, we just actually were talking about this before we walked in here. So with our School for Distinctions teams, we are having that conversation with them, and we are empowering our staff to lead us in that next direction, because we know that there are we have things to do. We have much to accomplish.
Different set of kids coming in.
Yes.
And, the world changes. It's the same strategies won't work for every group of kids that walk in the door.
Yes.
I said, along with that, the School of Distinction team at Camps North, I'm a big picture. I have to look at the whole school, the whole picture. They are so amazing at pulling out the little things that are going to make a big difference. And they're giving ideas and smaller pictures of what
we need to do.
What we need to do in order to move forward and to keep getting better.
Yeah.
We're not going to just stop there. It's going to continue to grow and grow and grow.
And you have a fairly young staff overall. You don't have a lot of retirees on the horizon. Like, you have a good, stable staff and group. What's advice you would give to a new administrator coming into the job or a building that's struggling? What would be the one or two pieces of advice you would give to those folks?
Get to know your people and really try to connect to everyone, and I always tell my assistant principals, your vibe attracts your tribe, and that is something that we kind of live by.
Makes sense in middle school for sure. Takes a special person.
And something that we learned, when we were training our staff with PBIS was the coalition of the willing. So you get all the people who are willing to get on the bus and ride with you, and you take it to the next level. So those are two things that have stuck out to me throughout my tenure as the principal. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. You?
And I would Listen to your staff, know that you are there for them, and make sure that they know that you are there to support them. And I think that goes a long way.
Goes a long way.
So yes.
That's the beginning. What's exciting, I think, is having schools of distinction, U.S. News and World Report, and having that status. It makes people want to jump on board. It makes people say, I want to be a part of that train. I want to be a part of that success. And I think when we look back at schools, the job's difficult. People always want more compensation or more this, but at the end of the day, they want to feel like they're doing a good job, and they want to feel like they're successful. That's what brings everybody back to the table. So thank you both for accomplishing that, achieving that, and leading that charge. But continue to share with what works. I don't think we do that enough. And in education, we struggle with sharing the positive. It's always the negative, but I'm thankful that you guys are here today to show we're doing well in some areas, and you two are great models of that. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.